These are the classic Doc Marten boots, the 1460s. These will always sell and sell for good money. I decided to price these real high because they're in pretty good shape all around. And I priced them at $90. Took most of the year to sell them. I think I bought these in the springtime. This is a metal die-cast bank. And I believe this was, it's either a copy of a Banthrico bank, which are quite popular, or remade by this Wheats Nostalgia. I really didn't know what was going on with this as far as whether it was a reproduction or not, but I priced it at $90, and I've had it up for sale since last fall, and so I took a $70 offer on it last night. This was kind of an interesting box lot find. It's an 8-track cartridge head cleaner and demagnetizer. Got the cord going right into it, so it'll demagnetize the head of your 8-track player as well as clean it. I was able to sell this for $19. From an auction at a farm a couple of, about a month ago, I guess, I bought a bunch of electronic supplies, including the Simpson meters and line filters, all sorts of things. But most of what I got just kind of thrown in on the deal were these resistors, true ohm resistors. And I just put them up for sale as new, and a guy bought 20 of them from me for $40. I have them priced at in lots of 10 for 20 bucks each. Need to shoot this in the vertical position on the camera. This is a long leather women's trench coat. It's nothing special as far as it's just international leather collection. Never heard of them before. It's a nice coat, and I had someone asking me questions about the buttons for a couple of days, and then she asked me for one more photograph, and as I was taking pictures of it, it sold, and I thought, well, maybe she just decided. Sold to someone entirely different, although from still the great state of Texas. This one is going to Galveston, and this sold for $50. This is a wooden ironing board. It's a Plymouth ironing board. And I picked this up for free at the auction. Somebody got it in their an auction lot and they didn't want it. So I took it home thinking, well, I don't even have an ironing board, but once I looked it up, I thought I could sell this for a good amount. Unfortunately, it only brought $25, but still a pretty good profit margin. We must be getting close to the holiday cooking season. Just sold this double boiler I've had for a long time. Probably had it for so long because there's no brand name on it. It's just a basic stainless steel double boiler. Looks like 2 quarts maybe. And this finally, it does have kind of a unique handle or finial on the top though. And it sold for $20. Another train book, this one covering the American narrow gauge railroads. Always fascinated me when I was a truck driver driving through the mountains, mostly in Colorado, where I'd encounter these railroads that had to be narrow in order to get through the mountain passes. This book sold for $40. This fly reel is a Garcia Mitchell, model 908. When I was a kid, I did a lot of fishing, but never got into the equipment that much. So I don't really know a lot about this stuff, but a little research told me this is worth some pretty good money. It was just a $5 auction find, or actually a garage sale find. And I sold it for $100. This is an embroidered luggage tag. 2 old hippies in a VW microbus. And I found this at an auction for 50 cents. So I thought, I bet you somebody might appreciate this enough to spend $20. And after a month, that happened. Another box of the miniature lamps sold. And these have been quite nice, selling for 10 bucks a piece. And I've also used quite a few in my own amplifier repairs, as these are the same kind of miniature lamps used in amplifiers. Again, these sold for $10. I probably bought 2 cases of these for $20. Another hard-sided gun case sold. And this one called the Gun Guard. Apparently it's made by a company called Doskosil. If I pronounce that correctly, D-O-S-K-O-C-I-L. And it's pretty much a generic one with just this straight padding on the inside. I always do well with these hard gun cases. I found this at a antique mall. Actually, this antique mall has parking lot sales in the summer months, and I was able to get this for $5 or $6. Remember, he wanted 10, and I tried to get it for half price, and I think I actually had to give him $6 for it. But it sold for $80 on Bonanza. This is a digital clock from a Mustang II. It was an option, and I was even able to test it. I have a 12-volt transformer, and it worked just fine. I was able to sell this to a gentleman in Belgium for $100. Another VHS tape rewinder sold. I just put one up for sale last week, and when this sale came across, I thought, oh boy, that sold pretty quick, but I've actually had this particular one up for over a year. Just your basic VHS tape rewinder. This doesn't even have a brand name. And it sold for $18. These are metal speaker stands, about an 8.5-inch rise. And I've had these for quite a while. I got them with a pair of speakers a long time ago, so I don't have any money into them. I finally decided to put them up for sale, and during the research I noticed that these shorter ones go for a lot more money than the tall ones, because these can support some pretty big speakers and get a better bass response with a little bit of elevation. And so I priced these at $150, just, you know, planning on putting a best offer on them after a couple of weeks. But I got a message from someone asking if I would take $100 for them, and I said, yeah, let's take that money and run. This is the bicycle headlight and radio combo that I sold a couple of months ago. It was returned because the guy didn't think the volume was loud enough. So I just priced it a little bit higher. And actually I took a best offer though, so I don't know if I actually made more on it, but it sold for $35. A couple more of these Simpson meters sold. These I picked up at an auction, a couple months ago. It was a farm auction, but the guy had all sorts of electronic supplies, and so I was buying them by the box full for $2 each. And I've sold a few of these meters so far, and they're selling for $20 a piece, so this was a nice $40 sale. These are a pair of hub adapters called NAB hub adapters for a reel-to-reel tape deck that uses 10.5-inch reels. I received this tape deck along with a bunch of other stereo equipment as kind of a throw-in because there was no sound coming out of it. And I'm debating whether or not I should part that out or try and sell it as 4 parts. It's a pretty heavy unit, so I don't know if somebody wants to spend that much on shipping for just a couple parts. But these hub adapters, I've always sold these for pretty good money. These have some wear, as you can see, around the center spline. And they're kind of stiff to operate. So I put this pair up for $60 and it's sold in about 5 minutes. Second of these handheld Motorola transceiver microphones. Seems to be brand new. It does have a specific plug for it. And through research I found that these are called potato mics, and I picked up 2 of these at that same farm auction with all the electronic gear. And I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this, but it's kind of like you have to do a double take. The name of the guy that bought it. I thought, well, I didn't buy that. Certainly didn't buy it from me. This sold for $18. Vintage office equipment like this Swingline electric stapler used to be really good sellers. Used to sell a lot of Rolodexes. But I don't know if that market has just dropped off, or I haven't been finding and listing enough of these items. This took probably a year and a half to sell. I even included a little video showing that it worked. And it has a suction cup feet. And I was able to sell this for $30. It's nut bowl season. Actually, these take forever to sell. I've had this for, well, probably since last year. Had it for sale for $25 and finally got a best offer of $20 for it with the tools too. And this one is the Benedict Palin, whatever that means. I was unsuccessful in researching that to add any more value to this. Again, it only sold for $20. This skateboard is part of an auction lot package that I probably paid just a few dollars for, so no money into this. It's a mellow yellow deck on it. And I was able to sell this for $30. Took about 3 months to sell though. This is a vintage Panasonic television in color. And it works just fine. I didn't do a video with this. I did hook it up to a VCR and took pictures of it playing with the bright colors. Came with the nice bow tie UHF antenna, as well as the rabbit ears. And I was able to sell this for $80. I picked this up at a garage sale for $5 over the summer. These are the 10.5-inch metal reels that came on the TIAC that I'm parting out. Or actually, I put the TIAC up for sale as is, but I've sold the NAB hubs that were on it, and now these metal reels. These are Maxell branded. One has tape. I don't even know what's on it because that tape deck didn't work, and I didn't want to run the tape through my own. But I was still able to sell these, even though they're a little bit rough around the edges. I got $50 for them.